Hi everyone, welcome to Cheryl's Creations, and I am so sorry about the length of time between videos. This is silly season in my world. Um, Lots of things to do, trying to keep up with inventory for markets. So here I am. Couple things I want to talk about today. I'm going to give you an update on my last market, which was October 11th. And every day I sat there and thought, gee, I should record that video and get it up, and just never happened. I am going to try and insert here a short piece of what my setup was. Now, my setup was much smaller. I only actually had half a booth, and it's okay because that's all the inventory I had. So I shared the booth with my friend. I'm trying to figure out how to get the video from my phone to my tablet. I tried to send it in a message and it said it was too long. So now I've got to try and crop it. So I've got to do a little bit of editing before I can get that, but hopefully it'll be in here. And I do kind of point out a couple of new things that I made because I didn't get a video made of some new makes. And so anyway, here's the before and my setup. Hey everyone, it's Cheryl. This is my before video, but I wanted to point out a couple of new things because I didn't get a video made before I came. I have a small setup today because we're in a very small space. So my dad made a bird feeder and a bird house to come. Some of this stuff is all the usual things that I have. I've got a few cats, some dinosaurs. These jellyfish are new. These all have felt eyes. There's another one somewhere. I guess I had 4 of them. Oh, there's the pink one. That is my whole rack of baby-friendly eyes. All of the eyes on those, except for the octopus on top, are either felt eyes or embroidered eyes. Right? Another one of the new things I did, well, I've been making snakes, but these are made out of the fruit from Parfait Fruits. So I have orange, apple, banana, watermelon, blueberry, and I have a grape one down there. Everything else I think is pretty much some of my standard stuff. I've been selling a lot of flamingos. My turtles, both my big ones and my small ones, go really well. These are, you've probably seen the advertisements or whatever. This is the matching game with the turtles where you match the belly colors. I have 2 different ones of those, and then I also have one with fish today. So, and those are Beanie Boo Loveys, and the Lovey blankets are the Zelda and RJ3 pattern. You can find that on YouTube. Okay, hopefully that worked. So this market was a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, I guess. It was on October 11th. It was at a union hall in a town about 30 miles. Well, it's actually the town I work in. It was from 10 to 2, so it was a short market. There was about 60 vendors. Now, this is a newer market organizer. This was her second. I went to her first market back in May, which was, May is not always a great time, but for the first market, it wasn't bad for her. So this was the second market. It was a lot busier. And let me tell you, she had the greatest pizza truck out front. I had a pizza. It was good. Um, but being that it was fall, people were doing some additional shopping. And so it wasn't great. It wasn't like one of my summer fairs. Um, I made right around 200 bucks. So my booth was paid for, not a big deal. Um, so that kind of leads me to, I want to talk about the difference between markets and fairs. For some folks that are just getting into doing um, craft shows, craft markets, um, there's a big difference, at least that I have found. Now, in my area, and you have to remember, I am in north central Indiana. I'm in a county or a town of about 17,000. And the bigger cities are, well, the next biggest city is 30 miles away, then it's like 50, and then Indianapolis is about 60, 70 miles away. So a lot of times, like right now I have 3 markets left. They are all what I would call more of a craft fair. Uh, they are smaller, they're indoors. Um, and one of the big things is a lot of times it's the dollar amount that is made at those. Now, have I done some indoor markets that have been $500, $600, $700? Yes. But lately, the smaller indoor markets have been running between $150 and $250 of things that I sold. It's not, and I don't want to say it's because of marketing, because the people who've put on these have done a wonderful job of marketing. I just think there's a big difference between when you go to a craft show or something like what I was at 2 weeks ago. The crowds are much smaller. You might have, 1,000, 2,000 people roll through. Okay, not too bad. Um, you compare that to a fair or a festival that are more in the summertime. The biggest festival that I did back in September had somewhere between 15 and 18,000 people roll through. My sales that day were about $1,200, $1,300. That's pretty good. It's a very small town, but it's a very well-established fall fair festival. It's the Apple Popcorn Festival in Brookston, Indiana. That was my second year doing that one. And I'm not in the middle of the festival. And so if I was down in the middle of everything, could my sales be higher? Probably. But where my booth is, and they gave me the option of, do you want to keep your where you were at last year? And I said yes, because I'm close to an exit to the festival. So getting my car in and out to get loaded and unloaded was very easy. I was literally 20 yards from the bathrooms or the porta potties. And I was like catty corner across from the kettle corn guy. That's the best part. I got to smell kettle corn all day. And I bought a big bag. That's my snack all day long, is when I get my kettle corn. But that's a big event, and those tend to be your bigger money makers. The other thing I did this year that was new, that was a big moneymaker, was I was at our county 4-H fair. And my profits were, or my take in was a little over $1,600. Um, we were there 6 nights. So granted, I had to work a little harder, and it was hot when they were in these kind of pole buildings, and when they opened that up, it was just so hot until the air got moving. But we were there Sunday night, no, Saturday night from each night was 6 to 9, so 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So 3 hours. So we were there Saturday, which was the day we set up. And then we were there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Each night just kept getting better and better. Saturday we really didn't sell much because there really wasn't many people out there, but the building was open. So I thought, might as well be there. And I did sell, I don't know, $150 worth of stuff. Sunday night it was a little bit busier. The things they had going on was the Queen contest and a couple of things. But then Monday it started off because it was officially open. And it was very, very busy. With something like that, you just have to remember that you are there multiple days. And I know some people don't like to do multiple days, but we were indoors. We were if it rained, which it did not, we were out of the weather. It was hot in that building, but we had fans. We took portable fans. So we were okay once the building was opened up and the air started flowing through. It wasn't that bad. So that was a big money maker. And, when people start doing these, I just kind of wanted them to kind of, I want people to understand sometimes you're not going to go out there and make $1,000 every time you go out. Some people are really good at picking their markets. Some people are in areas where they have fabulous stuff. But some of your craft shows, expect that they are going to be lower money makers than your larger festivals. And it's all about foot traffic. If you want the higher dollars, you pick your events that are high traffic. When you think about high traffic, a lot of times you're going to pay more for your booth, okay, your booth fee. Normally, my booth fees around where I am with the smaller ones are $35-ish. That's about what I pay. The big market over in Brookston was $70 for the day. Now, my fee for the fair was, I think it was $75 for the whole week. But then they put a clause in that said they would like you to donate or that you should pay 15% of your sale over, once you made like over $500, then, please, donate 10%, 15% of that for people who were not nonprofit. Okay, I get it. I thought 15% was a little much. So, but, bigger events sometimes have bigger costs, but there's bigger returns. Anyway, that's my thoughts on craft fairs versus festivals and markets. And next year, I'm trying to pick up one or two more of the larger events and maybe scale back on some of my smaller events. Because sometimes doing 2 or 3 markets in a month versus doing one big one, there's some benefit to that, I think. Anyway, my next market is November 8th. It is, where am I at? Oops. It is at the Cass County 4-H. It's at our 4-H ground. It's in one of their buildings. It's the home extension makers put on a show every year. I've been there 3 or 4 years. Not a bad show. I do fairly well. And then I have 2 more after that. So I have 3 more craft shows, smaller ones, between now and the first week of December. And then I'm done for the year. So I am doing some new items. So I hope to get another new video up about the new patterns and stuff I've tried. And so we'll get those in. Anyway, thanks for popping in. Thanks for letting me ramble. It's just one of those things. And um, I will see you the next time. Crochet away, everybody. Bye.